Hey guys, it's Kyle from K-Fit Health and Wellness Consulting. Today we're going to talk about foam rolling, which sometimes can be called SMR or self-myofascial release. You've probably heard quite a lot about foam rolling. It is a great tool to reduce thickening, adhesions, and tension in the fascia, which is like the connective tissue in your muscle and muscles themselves. It can also reduce fatigue, improve recovery, and enhance range of motion. So you've probably seen a few different foam rollers in your gym, different colors, different densities. The different densities are helpful because sometimes if you have lots of pain in an area, you don't want a super dense foam roller that's going to cause you lots of pain and discomfort. So you can shoot for kind of a lesser dense foam roller. Typically in the gyms, they're usually the blue ones. Black ones are more dense. This one I have here, it's kind of a homemade one. It's a PVC pipe, about a 3-foot PVC pipe, 3 inch by 3 feet. I just wrapped it in athletic tape. You can probably find these at Home Depot for less than $10. I know foam rollers can get pretty expensive these days, but this is a pretty good option. It's not very friendly. It's obviously pretty solid, so if you do have lots of muscle tension, probably try a different density, a little bit lower density. We're going to go through quads, glutes, IT band, calf, and I'll show you a modification for the calf as well, and then kind of the teres minor, teres major, under the armpit area. The first one is quads. So typically what you'll do is you'll set your foam roller down, you're going to come sit on your roller, and whatever glute you want to target, you're going to cross that leg. So if I'm going to target my left glute, I want to cross my left leg over my knee. The one that's going to open up my hip, I'm going to lean onto that side, so all my body weight is pushing down on that area. So it's going to kind of roll back and forth. It's not going to be a very big movement, maybe 6 to 8 inches. And you're just looking for any points of discomfort, any points of soreness. Once you find that, I want you to kind of narrow in, shorten your roll a little bit, and try to focus in on the area for about 30 seconds until the pain dissipates a little bit. Typically, you might feel some sort of tingling going on back there as you roll over your piriformis. But once you kind of cover that area, then you just go ahead and switch sides. So take about a minute, 2 minutes on each side, just kind of going back and forth, looking for those areas of discomfort. And like I said, once you find those, just kind of narrow in and spend about 30 seconds there until the pain dissipates. All right, next one is the quads. We're looking at the front of the leg. So basically just going to get into a plank position. We're going to start the roller up at the hips. So roller at the hips, you're going to point your toes down and walk and roll from your hips down to your knees. All right, like I said, if you feel any points of discomfort, go ahead and spend some time there. Shorten your roll, 30 seconds or so, until that pain decreases. So next we can modify this, or at least change the muscle group, by turning your toes outwards. So as you roll, widen your leg position out, turn your toes outwards to get more of that medial quadricep, which can get pretty sore. Just going back and forth as high as you can get, and then just to the tip of your knee. All right, next one is IT band. So for those who don't know what the IT band is, it basically follows kind of your seam of your pants. So from your hip to the outside of your knee. It's a big site for connective tissue, connecting muscles to that area. It can get kind of bunched up. So typically when people do the IT band, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable, especially with a higher density roller. So we'll start on the hip. You can do this 2 ways. If you want more pressure down, you can stack the feet and raise your legs off the ground, so like a side plank, and then just roll from hip down to the side of your knee. If that's too much for you, you can bring a foot forward, press down off this leg to decrease the pressure into that bottom leg. And just kind of roll back and forth. Make sure you're going all the way down to the side of your knee. And if you want to get both the posterior and the anterior part of your IT band, you're going to kind of roll forward a little bit. And then roll backwards a little bit. So there's kind of three areas for your IT band: posterior, the lateral, and then the anterior. You're just kind of changing your angle a little bit. All right, next one is the calf. So we can do both feet at the same time. You got your lower calf or your Achilles and your soleus at the bottom here. I'm just going to roll back and forth. And you can move the roller up into that calf belly and then up just behind the knee. Not crossing the knee, but just behind the knee. All right, if you want more tension than that, you can place one foot over the leg. That's going to put more weight down into the muscle. And then roll back and forth. Your calf does have two heads, so you can turn your toe inwards to get the medial, and then outwards for your lateral head. And then changing sides. Again, looking for that point of discomfort, and then spending some time there, whatever time it takes to get rid of it, or at least lessen it. The next one is kind of teres minor, teres major, lat junction, just under your armpit. This one's a tricky one to get, so you don't want to go on your back onto your shoulder blade, but just anterior of that, we kind of roll into some big muscles that can get pretty tight. And on this one, you're not really going to go up and put all your pressure down on the roller. Just going to kind of lean into it and just take your hand and move the roller back and forth. This one will not be a very big movement, but you're just looking for any sort of areas that can cause some pain. There's one there. So you can either just put all your weight on it and rest, or you can kind of make little vibrations with the roller to kind of pinpoint that area. All right, guys, so that's some real quick foam rolling tips. If you have any questions on foam rolling or other ways to get at certain muscles that are tight, let me know. Make a comment below, shoot me a message, and I'll help answer your question. Thanks. Have a good night.